for Sakuno? Sakuno? Baron Rickvold. Isn't this his camp?
You won't get nothing out of him. You must be Radzig's man. I heard he was supposed to send someone.
Yes, Sir Radzig sent me as a guide. I'm Henry.
I'm Jakey. And this here fella, we call the Stone.
I can see why. What's up with him? Cat got his tongue?
No, more like the dog got it. The executioner's dog. When the executioner ripped it out of him. Anyway, you better come along with me. I'll introduce you to the other fellas. And the chief. These here are the Bearman brothers. Petra and Jan. They're a barrel of laughs, except when they're too drunk to string two words together. Like now. Don't get on the wrong side of them, though. When their blood is up, well, it ain't a pretty sight.
Pleased to make your acquaintance, I'm sure.
Never mind the fancy poses, Stefan. You're trying to kill the fucker, not teach him how to dance. And you, Dangler, stand your ground. Don't let him lead you round by the nose.
Sir? Sir, this is Henry. From Lord Kobula.
Oh, it's about time Radzig got round to this. We need someone who knows their way around these parts. Leave off with the bowing and curtsy. We don't hold with that tomfoolery here. Jakey! Where the hell are you sneaking off to? Go to the farm and get water. The lads are thirsty.
But I went last time.
And you'll go next time, you ungrateful pup. Get your ass moving. Snot-nosed brat. You pull him out of a pile of shit. And they thank you with back talk. Where were we? Oh yeah. We need a guide who knows these parts. So I hope I can rely on you, Herman.
It's Henry.
Right. Well, as I said to Radzig, I don't want to carry any dead weight. We could find ourselves in some very tight situations where every sword counts.
I know how to handle a sword, all right?
I've heard a lot of fellas say that. They still ended up on the wrong end of one. Find out. Stefan, take a break. Dangler, let's find out what Harold here can do.
Sure.
No problem. You didn't fare badly at all, I must say. You can ride with us.
All right. Good. Thanks.
Don't thank me yet. You don't know what you're letting yourself in for.
Shall we ride out?
No point in going out now. It'll soon be dark. Come back at first light and we'll get going.
All right.
You can sleep here in the camp if you want. There's room enough. And you ought to get better acquainted with the fellas. Jakey, go and scout ahead. Don't want us running into any surprises. See if there's a good spot for us to camp.
Right, Chief.
What's the matter with Jakey? No back talk.
I gave him a swig of schnapps at supper. Perhaps it made a man of him overnight.
All that boar piss of yours took away his will to live.
Zastubi device potoki vina,
Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven.
Amen.
So, you've been looking for us, eh? What is it you want?
I hear you're hiring men who don't mind getting their hands dirty.
Is that so? And where did you hear that?
Taverns and the like. People talk.
Well, that's a pretty tale. But no one in any tavern told you to come here and wait, did they? So let's have it. Who told you?
I don't recall his name, but he was one of your friends. He said that he couldn't take me straight to you, that I had to go through the church.
He was right about that. But he still said more than he should have.
I know my way around. You won't go wrong with me.
Spare me the boasting. I've got a test ready for you. Let's see how you handle it before you tell us how wonderful you are.
What test?
Nothing complicated. We used to take anyone who looked like they could keep their head on straight. But not now. Now you can only join if you do what we tell you.
Which is what? Steal something?
Nah, not theft. If you want to join us, you have to kill Pius.
Who's Pius? And why should I kill him?
That's none of your business. But I'll tell you anyway, because it's an instructive tale. Pius was one of us, but he fucked up.
How? Did he steal something?
Yeah, that was part of it. Stole some money, ran away. A few boys died over it. Showed a distinct lack of loyalty. And as soon as he's dead, you can join us.
I'll have to find him first.
You don't need to find him. We know where he is.
Then why haven't you killed him yourselves?
It's quite a test. He's hiding in a monastery.
With the stable boys? It's not hard to get into the grounds.
No, not there. Oh, he would have been dead long since. He's in the, cloister, or whatever it is.
But only monks can get in there.
Just monks and Pius. He's an educated bastard. Seems he used to be a priest, but it didn't quite work out.
And how am I supposed to get into the cloister?
You'll think of something. Maybe there's a secret passage. I've heard there's some cave underneath. The cave of St. Procopius. There might be a way into it from outside.
And do you have any other ideas besides secret passages?
Well, there is this one fellow been hanging around the taverns. Supposed to join the monastery soon. Might be he could help you somehow. I'd try talking to him if I were you. And if he doesn't help, knock him on his ass and take anything he's got that you could use to pass yourself off as him. A letter of admittance to the monastery, or whatever.
And do you have any other test?
We're not hiring stable boys. We want men who are prepared to do anything. And this is the toughest task we've got.
So how many men have you already sent?
Just a handful.
And what happened to them? Did they hang?
Just the first one. The others turned tail. Guess they didn't have the stomach for it.
Murder someone in a monastery? Have you gone mad?
Murder's a sin as it is. Doesn't really matter where you do it.
Yes, it does. I'd be spilling blood on hallowed ground.
Well then, knock him senseless, drag him outside, and finish him off where it's less sacred. I don't give a damn where you do it, just as long as he ends up dead.
How will I recognize Pius?
He won't have been there long. He should be the only new one there.
But what if there are others? What does he look like?
Normal? He always went about well dressed and had a fine looking dagger.
Yes, except he'll be given a robe and they'll take his knife.
Then you'll have to try and figure out which one of the novices it is, and get him to betray himself. Try getting him drunk. Then send him straight to hell.
Get him drunk? In a monastery?
Where better? There's more wine there than in the royal cellars. And I doubt he suddenly stopped drinking.
Fine. So I've got to kill Pius. He's in the cloister, and to get into the cloister, I'll need to enlist the help of some boy who's joining the order, right?
More or less. And now the main thing.
The main thing is to kill him, isn't it?
Of course. But that's not all. All hell's gonna break loose in the monastery after the murder. So, either make sure nobody finds him, or hightail it out of there quick as soon as the job's done. But better if they don't find him right away.
And what else? Should I come back here afterwards?
No. Before you run for it, take his special dice and bring it as proof that you killed him. And if you can get him to tell you where he hid the coin, bring that as well.
Bring his dice and the money if I find it. And where should I bring it?
From the monastery, head east across the river. There'll be a swamp where you'll find a fire pit. Go there at night and light a fire. Make it nice and big and we'll show up. Take the dice and the money, and then tell you where to report. Got it?
Right, I'm to slip into the best guarded place in the entire region and kill someone. Take his dice and money, and then go to the swamp and wait by the fire.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Well, you can at least say a few Hail Marys for me. I'm gonna need all the help I can get.
And remember, we'll be keeping tabs. So don't you try to run off, alright? Goodbye.
Brothers in Christ, we have gathered here today to welcome a new novice into our midst. Dear brother, forget your former life and embrace your new vocation in the community of the monks of St. Benedict. Opus Dei, obedientia, obprobria, the service of God, obedience, and endurance of all discomfort. These are the cornerstones and succor of our order, which on this day shall become your own. Suscipe me, Domine, secundum eloquium tuum et vivam, et non confundas me ab expectatione mea.
Suscipe me, Domine, secundum in loquium tuum vivam, et non confundas me ab expectatione mea.
Accept your new name, Brother Gregor, and wear it with honor. Welcome, brother.
Any word about your boy, Radzig?
Nothing yet.
Let's hope he hasn't done anything rash. Wouldn't surprise me, given the balls that he has. Now, I wonder where he might have got those from.
Don't start, Hanush.
I'm sorry, sir. This fellow...
Henry!
Father?
I told you he had balls.
Well, I see that you haven't been idle, and we'll certainly need to have a talk later, but not quite so publicly. It looks like you have plenty to tell us. What happened?
I got a bit tied up at Vranyk. But now I know what they're planning.
What's being planned? And who's planning it? Spit it out, boy!
There's no longer any doubt about it. It's that Hungarian noble you were hosting on the same day Sigismund pillaged Skalitz.
Sir Istvan Toth.
Toth and his people. Everything fits. They're the ones making the counterfeit money and using it to hire mercenaries from all around. He's already got quite an army at Vranyk.
But what the fuck is he after?
I can tell you exactly, and you won't like it.
How's that?
I had quite a long talk with him.
What?
When I was trying to get into his camp, I was taken captive. We had a bit of a chat. Actually, he told me his entire plan.
What?
I suppose he thought he didn't need to keep it secret any longer. I'm not all that surprised.
Why not?
What's that bastard planning?
He's in the service of Sigismund. He wants to destroy King Wenceslas' allies. That means us. He's gathered a very large force. I'm honestly not sure if we can defeat them. And he knows no one will come to our aid now.
That fucking cunt! I'll skin him alive!
How many men has he got?
More than 100, I'd say.
And how secure is their camp?
It's an old abandoned fortress on a hill above Sasau. It's inaccessible from 3 sides, surrounded by a timber palisade.
Bastard! I'll crush that rebel of his.
That's easy to say, old friend. It seems Toth isn't taking any chances.
Together with Divish, we can muster enough men. And we can all see there's no time to waste. That bastard wants a battle? Much better we pick a time and place than he does.
Undoubtedly. We have to take them by surprise. It would be best to attack tomorrow night. We can't get ready any sooner.
That's what I like to hear, Radzig.
Henry, I want you to get yourself fixed up and then go straight to Sir Divish of Talmberg. Tell him to assemble all the able-bodied men he can and bring them to Vranyk tomorrow evening. We'll wait for him there.
Yes, sir.
Finally, a chance to show I'm not carrying a sword just for ornament.
What is it, Henry? Is there something else?
The thing is, we have to deal with Zbyszek.
I see. And who is he?
Zbyszek is from Skalitz. He helped me escape captivity and saved my life. I promised him a reward for it.
Indeed. Well, Zbyszek, if you saved my son's life, I'm grateful to you. As a token of my gratitude, please accept this reward.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your generosity.
And under the circumstances, we won't ask how you came to be with that herd of swine at Vranik. So you'd better get out of here quick, before I start thinking about it.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Goodbye, my lords. Thanks, Henry. God be with you.
Get a good meal inside you and get those wounds tended to. You look wretched. And if you need equipment or armor, tell Bernard. He'll give you what you need.
Yes, my lord.
No more, my lord. I'm your father. I swear, Hal, I planned to tell you. I'm sorry Ishvan, of all people, beat me to it. Now, we have more urgent matters to deal with. Later, we'll have time to talk about it. What do you say?
As you wish, my lord. Father.
Good. Now go to Divish as quickly as you can, son.
And Hanush.
I take it you've heard. What does your father want from me?
I found out who's behind all the unrest in the region, and Father and Hanush have decided to put an end to it all.
What? So who is responsible for all our recent troubles?
You may have met him. Istvan Toth.
No, I haven't met him. But Sir Radzik said he'd been here to visit before the raid. I don't suppose that's a coincidence. What kind of man is he? What is he after?
He's in the service of King Sigismund, and he's fighting the nobility who support King Wenceslas. They've amassed quite a force at the old stronghold above Sasau, and they're planning to attack very soon. Father and Hanush have decided to move first and destroy him before he's prepared.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
When? And how?
Tonight. They send word for you to muster your men and rendezvous with them at Vranik.
This is madness.
Maybe it is. But I fear that Radzik and Hanush are right. The sooner we cure this pestilence, the better. Gather the men and make ready. We march tonight. Leave only as many as you must to guard the castle.
Very well, sir. As you command.
Will you be coming with us?
Yes, sir. I have some scores to settle with them.
Divish, I see you don't want to miss the show.
You didn't expect me to leave all the glory to you.
Never. We wouldn't dream of starting without you.
What news? Did you parley with them?
We did.
And what was the outcome?
Not quite what we hoped for. Radzig wanted to go parley with him in person. Fortunately, I talked him out of it.
It seems that this will not be resolved without a battle.
Bloody good thing, too. Finally, we'll have some proper entertainment in the countryside.
Fortunately, my son here showed immense daring and made his way into the lion's den to spy on them.
Tell us what you saw, lad.
What do you want to know, exactly?
Well, let's start with how well fortified they are.
The outer palisade goes right around the whole camp. On a small hill inside it, there's a half-demolished farmhouse that's ringed by another palisade. That's where I was held prisoner, and that's where Toph's based. I'm in his inner circle.
Can you tell us how many tents there are and how they're arranged?
There might be 50, maybe 300. Most of them in the right-hand side of the camp.
And the men? How many men strong are they?
Quite a few. At least 80.
Huh. We don't number much more than that ourselves.
We do outnumber them, though, even if only by a few men. And our men are well armed and disciplined. The foe, nothing but a rabble.
From what I've seen, it's best to attack from our direction. How does it look from the other side?
The east side is all rocks, so no hope of launching a major assault from there. On the other hand, that's the way I escaped. It's where they throw all their waste. The heap's already so high it's almost to the top of the palisade.
Now that is interesting. The ramparts are long. If there are as many of them as we think, they can hardly keep watch over the entire length. Attack with full force at the gate, and they won't have enough men at the rear.
That's an excellent strategy. But then I'd expect no less from you.
If we cause an enormous uproar at the same time, they won't know what's hit them.
Uproar?
You said they have tents there?
Yes, sir.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, tents usually burn rather well. And we have quite a few archers.
We don't do things by halves, Divish.
So, I believe we have a plan. Robard will take 10 men and sneak to the rear of the fortifications. There's an entry point, but you must remain hidden.
I will do my best, sir.
That shouldn't be too hard. They'll have other things to worry about. The rest of us will launch a frontal assault. Rain burning arrows on them and then attack.
Those bastards won't know which way to turn.
At that point, Robard and his squad will strike from the rear.
I think it's a good plan.
God be with you, my friends.
We'll wipe those whore sons off the face of the earth.
Listen up now. We are about to meet the rabble that have been trying to hurt us. Pillaging, killing, raping, and generally being a thorn in our side for long enough. They may be hiding behind a stockade, but they are still a pack of curs who are no match for men like you. And tonight, we are going to festoon these trees with corpses. First, we will set fire to their little hornet's nest. Then we'll keep them busy by the gate. And when we've made it nice and hot for them, Sir Robard and his men will pounce on them from the rear. And we will hack them to pieces. Have you got it? Yes, sir! Good. Now, when we reach the ramparts, the archers will cover the men climbing it, and the men with the battering ram.
Any of these fuckers foolish enough to stick his head outside the stockade is to lose it at once. Understood? Yes, sir! Glad to hear it. Now, let's do it! Forward! Henry, where's Toth? You said he was here.
He definitely was, sir. I've got the cuts and bruises to show for it.
You have to find out where he slithered off to. Look for clues. Anything that will tell us what he's doing.
Sir, this was all I could find.
A letter? What does it say, Radzig?
Alongside hunting, drinking, and swordplay, you might find time for a little study, old man. In the courts of Prague, every Tom, Dick, and Harry can read nowadays.
Yes, well, here in the countryside, we don't give a tinker's curse about such things. That's what I've got a scribe for, anyway. What does the damn thing say?
It appears to be written by Toth, but it doesn't say to whom. It says everything's going according to plan, and the castle should soon be taken.
Castle? What castle? What does he need a castle for?
Sir, we took this one alive. And it seems he's not just some ordinary spear carrier.
Where's that rat Toth? Where did he go? Speak, damn you!
He's thwarted you again, hasn't he?
If you play your cards right, you might come out of this in one piece. Where is your lord? He was here yesterday, wasn't he?
Come now, sir. We both know where I will end up. My lord is gone. He took most of the men and left.
Where has he gone? What is he planning? He writes here about taking some castle. Which castle?
Oh, some nearby castle. Left completely unguarded. Now I wonder where it could be.
What are you saying, you whore son?
Talmberg. Did he go to Talmberg?
You'll never get him! You'll never get...
What? We're planning on sending him to some monastery to become a monk? I believe we have some work to do, Sir Divish, do we not? Mount up, gentlemen. We don't have any time to waste.
Halt! Who goes there? Greetings. We were ambushed. We need assistance. We have wounded men here. Open the gate.
The Lord be praised.
Here! Come on! Come on!
Lady Stephanie, I really don't think we should...
My lady. Faster, man! Come on, faster! My men are gravely wounded. Without treatment, I'm afraid they won't live to see morning. Hiya! Hiya!
Not to worry. We'll take care of them.
My lady, you have my uttermost gratitude. May God reward you for your kindness.
Every Christian should help his neighbor in his hour of need.
True. Especially now, when treachery and deception surround us on all sides.
Get out of the way!
The devil lurks in the shadows. Come on! And one fears taking a guest into his house. Signal the others. Yes, sir.
Oh no. We're too late.
quickly! Follow me!
Soldier.
Take care. Sir, we should give the order.
Let's see if Istvan Toth can worm his way out of this one.
Don't tempt fate, Hanush.
Istvan! It's over! You want us to come and get you?
I wouldn't advise that. Your friend Divish wants to see his wife alive again.
And Sir Radzig? Are both hostages unharmed?
For now, Hanush, unless circumstances change.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. My guest is also safe and sound, but he's also quite keen to go home. I imagine you feel the same way. It's been a long time since you warmed yourself at your own hearth.
I'm in no hurry. I've plenty of supplies here, grand view and excellent company. What more could I want?
Your freedom!
Freedom? Freedom to get an arrow in the back?
Sir, you're all noblemen here, all bound by honor. I give you my word as a knight and lord, and that of my companions. If you release Lady Stephanie and Sir Radzig, you may leave the castle with your men and go on your way unharmed.
And just how far will we get? What good will it do me if your men attack us in the woods instead of here?
If you give me your word of honor that you will leave and never return, I promise you safe passage to the boundary of this fiefdom. What happens after that is up to you and the will of God Almighty.
Very well then, but I want a small safeguard. I'll give you her ladyship. But Radzig comes with me. I'll release him in Skalitz.
Out of the question! Is our word not good enough for you?
Is mine not good enough for you? I swear I'll release him when I get to a safe distance.
I'll go with him, Hanush. Let the Lady Stephanie have her freedom now.
Father!
Don't worry, son. I trust Lord Toth's self-interest more than his word. He wouldn't be fool enough to harm me.
If you're certain, Radzig.
Prepare horses and supplies, and tell your men to pull back. We'll come down.
You heard him. Get to work. And any man who breaks this truce answers to me.
So, are you really going to let them go?
My word is my bond, Henry.
He's a cutthroat and a liar. Good men are dead because of him. What's to stop us from skewering him as soon as he sets foot outside?
Our honor!
If you let him go, he'll do the same again. Or worse.
God's justice will find him. Then, you'll get a taste of my mace.
If we break our word of honor, we have none. And without honor, we are nothing. Never fear. Your father will be all right.
We'll hunt down those vermin yet.
Bring the horses.
Here she is, as I promised. Not a hair on her head.
Divish!
Stephanie.
Forgive me, husband. I'm sorry.
For what?
For letting them into the castle.
Come now, my dear. You're not to blame.
I didn't know who he was. They said he was your friend.
Hurt you?
No.
I hope your word can be trusted.
Certainly more than yours.
If everything goes as agreed, I'll set Radzig free in Scallis. If anyone tries to follow us, I'll kill him.
We won't.
My apologies for keeping you from your father, but you'll see each other soon enough. Oh, I almost forgot. Your sword. I expect you'll want it back after all the trouble you went to. Actually, you know what? I think I'll keep it. As a memento.
This isn't over. I'll find you.
I look forward to it.
Quick! To the battlements! We have to see which way they go! Oh, they really are heading for Scallis. Mount up, Henry.
You've heard what he'll do if we follow them.
We're not going to follow them. We just have to collect your father. Or do you want him to walk back here when they release him? There's no sign of them. Move on. Kept his word, sir.
Not half as glad as I am, Your Grace.
Well, we kept our word too. And now Toth has had his head start and he's fair game. Which way do they go?
To the north, but I would be careful, Sir Hans.
Fear not, Your Grace. I have twice as many men as he. Well, I won't keep you any longer. I'm sure the two of you have a lot to say to each other. Let's go!
They treated me quite decently. Although they did steal my horse, I'll have to go back on foot.
It looks like it's all over.
Not by a long shot. It won't be over until we get this mess cleared up.
We catch that bastard. How can we let him go?
Would you rather we killed him? Even if it meant Lady Stephanie and I died too?
Of course not. But what was to stop us from killing him after the exchange?
Honor?
Honor?
If the word of honor of a nobleman could not be trusted, then he would never have agreed to the exchange.
Where's the honor in abandoning your son?
You know how it is. We were young. It happened. And I couldn't marry a commoner. Then your father, Martin, came along and took care of both of you.
You knew him?
What? That I was your father? Certainly. He was a great man. He took you as his own. And always kept an eye on you. Of that you can be sure.
You know so little about his past.
He told you nothing. Oddly enough, even though you don't have his blood, you're very like him. When he was around your age, he became bored of his trade and set out to see the world. He lived through many adventures, even fought in a war.
In a war?
Yes, in Poland, I believe. And I don't think he cared much for it.
That's why he wanted me to stay at home.
He spent some time in Prague, then settled in Kuttenberg. But it seems he quarreled with someone there and finally ended up here. You know the rest.
I loved him, but even so, I somehow always had a feeling I didn't quite fit in.
It was in your blood, I suppose.
I lost the one thing I had left from him. Your sword.
Ah. The sword. It's not my sword. It's yours. For a moment there, it was so near, yet so far. Oh, well, it can't be helped.
It was almost within my grasp, but just then I had something else on my mind.
Well, I think we may yet have a chance to get it back. This business with Toth is not yet over, unfortunately.
That's a chance I'd welcome. Not just to get the sword, but that bastard Istvan too. And then I'll find that German whoreson who torched Skalitz, and I'll slay him with it. I'll never forget his face. Or his name. Mark Vart von Aulitz.
Those are noble intentions, son. But don't forget there are other things in this world that are worth living for.
Like what?
Look around you. Blue skies overhead, green grass underfoot, beautiful girls. Good wine, a few good friends, and a fine steed under your backside. Those are things worth living for. I can't deny that swine who killed your mother must pay for what he did. It's better not to dwell too much on that at the cost of those other things. On the subject of steeds, I think we'll have to ride like the Knights Templar.
How's that?
2 up. One day I'll tell you how they got their seal. You can take the front. It's like I always imagined it would be, teaching my boy to ride. Although it would be better if you were a little smaller. Word, it's all go today, isn't it? This is.
I think I know. It's Margrave Jobst.
The king's cousin? I wonder what he wants. I guess we'll find out soon enough.